My video has been interrupted. This is what happens when we YouTube in the house, in our home. You can hear crazy teenagers in the background and has been interrupting. Okay, what we need for the smoothing treatment. Again, why I tell you could do it at home. All you do need this little brush. I love these brushes. You can get them at probably any local beauty supply, but I'll put a link for these type of brushes. The reason why these are important with the smoothing treatment is because it's got your end to section. It has your brush to apply and the comb for smoothing. So we're going to be doing all three of these things when we apply smoothing treatment. So the tip to section. Smoothing treatment also is something that you're not going to be using a ton of product. Less is more. If you put too much product on the hair, you're just going to leave the hair with a ton of product and creating a lot of fumes, because remember, we're going to be blow drying and ironing this, and so if there's tons of product on here, it's going to create a lot of fumes. And the hair doesn't need it. It just needs a coating of this. It doesn't need to be saturated, because remember, it's sitting on the outside hair shaft. When I teach to highlight, I tell people, oh, it's so important that you have a super thick saturation, and so that the hair really absorbs the bleach. But with the smoothing treatment, it's the opposite. You just need to get the smoothing treatment on the hair shaft. It's not going to absorb it. It's just going to sit on the outside hair shaft. And then when you get too much like that, just take some off and put it on another area. So if I just push this up, that's going to push that into hair that I haven't put anything on. So you're going to use this brush to kind of comb the product through. The sectioning is depending on density. If Kayla had high density hair, see how much product is already still on there? Hopefully that shows. There's not really much on there, so I'm just going to spread that across. I don't need to put more product. There's already plenty on there. And the reason why I'm not going all the way down with the product, I'm just taking it to about mid-shaft, is one, that density that I told you guys about. Because look what's going to happen with the, just when I end up, because at the very end we take the comb and we do this, that product is going to end up getting down there where she has hardly any hair. And this hair is already straight, not very curly, from lifestyle. It's older, and more things you put hair through, it actually removes the curl. So don't waste your product and don't waste your time putting product on, the hair that doesn't really need it. But like I said, if she was a super high density person, I might be taking sections that small, because those people have such dense hair. You can see through her hair at this level, but their hair, you can't, a high density person, you can't see through that little bit of hair. Everything that we do is dependent on hair type. And that's what I was saying in the beginning about there's no such thing as black hair, white hair, Mexican hair, because we just have to address what type of hair we have. Our ethnicity isn't accurate enough. Kayla could have 10 sisters and every sister would have a different head of hair. And probably most of you, could say the same thing in your family. Even straight hair can be very, very different, but especially curly hair. So she has what we would call curly hair, bounce back hair, or some people might call it nappy hair, or what's another term? Kinky hair. She does not have. That's hair that is, the curl pattern is so tight that it bounces back to the head. She doesn't have that curl pattern. But I have curly hair. My hair is not near as curly as Kayla's. So it just depends on what kind of hair you have. Oops, sorry, I just hit the camera. How much product we put on is going to be according to hair type. Same for flat ironing. When we flat iron her hair, we're not going to take these little teeny sections because it's going to be too much on her hair. She doesn't need all that. If she had a super thick, super curly head of hair, I would be taking minuscule sections on the product and on the blow drying and the flat ironing. So this process, after I get this on her hair, each section I'll comb it. Then after I comb it, after I've completed all of the sections, she's gonna sit for 20 minutes, and then we're gonna blow dry and we're gonna flat iron it. And then I'll have her sit for another 20 minutes, and then we're gonna rinse it out, and she's done. So it's all things that you could do at home. If you have a little girl that doesn't like to sit still, it's great because you could do this in steps. You could do the initial step of getting it clean and blown out the night before. And then the next morning when you get up, you could apply the product. And in the afternoon, you could do your blow dry and flat iron and then rinse it out. Because it's not a product that burns the hair. It's not a product that burns the scalp or the skin. Relaxers. I do not use relaxers anymore. Back in the day, they were all we had, and I loved them. But this is a much better solution for controlling curly hair. Now, if my client has super short hair, and that's how they always wear it, is super short and super straight, then yes, I would put a relaxer on the hair. But that's it. No one else. Relaxer has too high of a pH level on hair that is the weakest hair type. The curlier your hair is, the weaker your hair is. The straighter your hair is, the stronger your hair is. And in Kayla's case, she has hair, I call it like a little girl. It's super baby fine. So the combing out and detangling of her hair would actually cause some damage to her hair. So how she has not as strong a hair at the bottom, after she gets the smoothing treatment for a while, her ends will strengthen up a little bit. Because she won't have to be pulling and tugging quite so much. All right, I'm going to finish applying this to her hair and then do the blow dry. And when we get to the flat iron, I'm going to show you how we're going to flat iron, because there's two different ways to do the flat iron on this type of a smoothing treatment. Okay, so just a reminder, smoothing treatments are a great solution to control your curly hair. You could choose from it just helping you detangle and blow dry to it making your hair a lot less curly, depending on how you flat iron it. The more you flat iron it, the smoother and the more it will calm down your curl. The other thing is it really does just calm your curl down. It doesn't have the ability to make your hair straight unless you're somebody like me that just has wavy hair. It will make wavy hair perfectly straight, but it will not make people who have an actual curl pattern like this straight like a relaxer will. All it's going to do is make your curls be calmer. It is very much like putting your hair in a sheet protector, like laminating your hair. So if I were to put your curls in a laminated sheet protector, it would make the curls shinier and not as curly, but it wouldn't make them perfectly straight. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back.